Please note that this is not intended as a children's story. The author strongly advises that parents or guardians view the video before allowing young children to watch it. Not so long ago, there were 3 little pigs, so small that they fit into teacups. They looked quite adorable. But of course, there are no such things as teacup pigs. They were only this tiny because they were piglets, and so the more they ate, the more they grew, until they became big, grown-up pigs. No longer able to fit into teacups, their modelling opportunities dwindled. While the pigs were more appealing to humans when they were small, they were more appealing to the wolf living nearby when they became large. After all, a piglet provides little more than a mouthful, but if you're patient, you end up with a feast. So the wolf watched and waited and bided his time. The pigs split their modelling wealth 3 ways, and each decided to build a house. The first pig built a house out of straw. How, you might ask, did a pig build a house, lacking opposable thumbs? This tale, my dears, is allegorical. In other words, don't ask questions. The wolf approached the straw house and asked the pig to let him enter. Now, while the pig was undoubtedly the stupidest of the 3, having built his house from such a flimsy material, he was not entirely lacking a sense of self-preservation, so he refused to open his door. The wolf, however, had waited many months for the pigs to grow big and fat, so he knew that all he need do is wait a little longer. Sure enough, the first time the weather turned stormy, a strong gust simply blew the silly pig's house down around him. The pig squealed in terror and ran off to hide in the house of the second pig. The second pig had built his house from wood. As the wolf approached, he heard the first pig telling the second all about how the wolf had huffed and puffed and blown his house down. "Open the door, little pigs," he said. "Let me in." "Or what?" asked the second pig. "You can't blow my house down." True, it would take more than a stiff breeze to destroy this abode. Fire should do nicely. With barely any effort, the wolf set the second house ablaze, and both pigs fled, squealing, to the house of the third pig. At last the wolf came to the final house, built from stone. The pigs shuttered the window, barred the door, and set a fire in the hearth to prevent the wolf from climbing down the chimney. Thought the wolf. Smoked bacon sounds quite delicious. He clambered up onto the roof, listening all the while to the 3 pigs chattering excitedly about how the stupid wolf was going to fall into their pot of boiling water, and threw a thick blanket over the chimney. Then he climbed back down and waited directly outside the door. Precisely as he had anticipated, all 3 pigs came coughing and gasping out of the house. They had no houses left to which they could flee, and so the patient, clever wolf had breakfast, lunch and dinner of bacon and ham and pork. Perhaps, dear reader, you're now wondering which is the true ending. Did the wolf triumph or the pigs? Who knows? In an infinite universe, perhaps both. So I advise you to decide for yourself. Are you the type of person who prefers that a wolf gets boiled alive, or that 3 little pigs get eaten up? There's a link to the music in the description. Thank you so much for watching.